Natalie, I had a program download yesterday I'm wildly lit up about. I'm feeling a bit like, how do I fit this in when I have so many other projects on the go? Yeah. You say yes to it if you know that it's a yes for you to say yes to, and then you just trust. And you just stop worrying about when it's going to happen. But if you notice that something repeatedly hasn't happened, then at some point I would be like, okay, is there a reason why, like, is there something I'm ignoring here? Or I would give basically a direct, specific command. I would speak out, which is something to the effect of, okay, this is now going to happen, and it's just going to naturally start to drop in where I don't even think about it, and I'll just naturally see a space of time where I now do this thing, and or it will somehow be addressed or dealt with by someone else potentially. Like maybe someone else does it for me, but a lot of the time it's myself. What's happening here? Trust is a huge concept. So many times I've bought one of your programs and then later I read the sales page to see exactly what I bought. That's how most people buy my stuff. I'm honestly like slightly concerned if anyone read the whole thing, because I'm like, you can read it if you're interested to see how I wrote the page. I'm not against people reading the whole thing. But if someone read the whole thing and they're like, I'm exactly needing to be here for like this point, this point, this point, this point, and it's kind of like a fixedness on I need those exact points in those exact way, then it's going to be like, well, you'll get them. That's great. That's nice. But you'll honestly block off so much receiving of whatever it was that you were meant to get beyond that. There's questions here on our question thread as well. Nikki says, I was on fire last night and launched my 21-day program. I have about 30 ladies in it already, so it's a win. I committed to sharing my message every day at the start of this challenge, but this week, Monday, I woke up with flu. Feels like I've been pushed on my bed by God to recover, and I can hardly open my eyes. I tried to fight it, get a post out earlier, but haven't shown up at all other than that one post. I guess my question has to do with discipline and commitment and what to do when you're sick. So you can surrender, and it's okay for things to change if you say you're going to do something every day and then genuinely you don't have the ability or capability, or it's just feeling like it would be completely against your truth to do it. I'm not going to worry about that for myself. It's going to be like, okay, like roll with the flow and the humanness. And though also something like getting really sick when you've committed to something that's a big up level, I would maybe look at that. Not necessarily, but maybe like, okay, did some part of me or something that's restricting me create this, and how can I address that and be like, no, I'm not going to be available for that. And just kind of see, is there some part of you that's almost like relieved or needing to recover, there can be something there spiritually, basically, which is a whole conversation, but it's quite common. Ginny says, what do you do when you don't really want to do anything? I've lost enthusiasm. I've been waiting for clarity to drop, but it hasn't. Everything feels hard. I've been putting out content and connecting myself to myself each day, but I feel like I'm pushing water uphill. I want to do nothing for a while, but I panic about earning money. I haven't had a client since March. I've fallen into a trap of doing nothing, thinking clarity will come, and it never did. Any tips? You need to surrender in the exact same way as how I answered Monique's question earlier. It's exactly that. It's the actual full surrender. And when we surrender, we know and trust that the creativity, the flow, the motivation, the clients, the money, whatever is going to come, but we genuinely need to cut off the attachment and be like, and it will come when it comes. It doesn't mean you're ignoring action that you're being shown to take. It means that you're really checking it on a spirit level. Like, am I actually meant to get off this couch, or is it genuinely that I still need to rest and lay back? It's one of the hardest things to do, you guys. But honestly, if it was easy to make millions of dollars, which it really is easy when you just drop in and follow flow, it's so easy. But it's also like, it's easy, but you have to be willing to really like move through and live into very uncomfortable concepts like this one, which can feel like they make no sense and it's just annoying, and you just want me to sit here and tell you the 1, 2, 3 step plan of how you'll be a millionaire by Monday. And it's like, well, you could be, but this is the freaking plan. So that's the reality, and it works every time that people actually drop in on it. It just takes what it takes. Isabel, we did yours on the live. Sophia says, I do channel content every morning, art as well, but I never shared anything yet. Since I joined the program, I organized my work, ran in my house, settled the different brands that are destined to different channels and niches, and I know the role I play in each and every one of those businesses. Some of them have a complete process and offer suite, others in the making. doing a lot of the work energetically and otherwise. My question is how to know what to start that will bring income to make the whole machinery work. I just need to figure out the first step because I must make money at this point. It's a necessity because there is so next level self-care and growth without money to invest in self-business, mentorship and further education. I'm not active online yet. Well, you need to start bringing things to life and start doing the actual daily action that the version of you who's making money would do. That's the reality. Your journal prompt, Monique, what would surrender actually look like right now? What is the actual action I'm led to take right now? Back to this one, just so I didn't miss that one. So you need to act like, I honestly can't even answer this question if you're not showing up online. And that might seem super harsh, but it's coming from a place of love and just know you are equipped right now and able right now to shop online. So choose which thing you will start selling. Just trust yourself to choose, connect in. If I had to choose today, what would it be? And then you need to be doing the day-to-day actions of showing up online, which is essentially your own inner work and connectedness. But then it's some form of messaging and communication, and it's some form of sales activity. And then it's whatever follows that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Because you can't sit there going, I need to figure out how to make money. And you know, what am I missing as to how to make money? And then at the end it says I'm not active online yet. You are able and capable of being active online. It doesn't matter how messy or all over the place it seems. That is your literal first step. And then pick one. Roll the dice. It doesn't even matter. Just pick any of them. I mean, I wouldn't actually roll the dice, but I would just connect in. Which one am I going to start with? And also, though, you're going to, like, there's a bit of trepidation or fear here. And then it's very contradictory to say I'm not showing up and to say I need to make money right now. It's a necessity. And I'm not judging because I think we've all been there in different ways and I have as well. It's just that you're actually going to need to hand over the idea of that you need to make money right away, because you're probably not going to make money in the first minute that you start showing up online. Some people do, but that's not normal. And anyone that comes to me or anyone else for a magic bullet solution where you join something, and not saying you're doing this, but people have done this in my courses, where you join something because you're like, it will save me, basically. Or even sometimes people join something higher ticket and they're like, oh, I'll join it even though I don't have the money to pay for it. And then by joining it, it will save me and I'll make the money to then pay for the thing. Now that actually happens a lot in my courses, but that is not the reason to join. And I'm not against people joining things they don't have the money for. Goodness knows that most of the investments and big moves I've made in my life, I put the commitment down and I had no idea where the money would show up from. I think that's a life principle. But it's the mindset of it will force it to work, as opposed to you are actually led to do that. So you're going to have to actually cut free the idea that this thing is going to have to make you money straight away, because otherwise you just flat out not going to create the vision that's actually there to be created, because it's this fixed lens of I need to pick the right thing to make the first step to make money. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way. You need to decide to hand that over. You need to know and understand that money absolutely can show up at any moment. And so why not, pray, choose and expect that that's what's going to happen for sure, right? Like come here in 10 days and go, you were wrong. I've just made all this money in 10 days, Kat. So there. And I'll be the first one celebrating you, because it's possible. It's more than possible. I've seen people do it tons of times. But there has to be the lightness, the playfulness, the surrender, and it's the trust in the big picture. It's not fear and I have to make money right now and I have to choose the exact perfect thing and money has to show up right now. It's a necessity and I haven't even been showing up like the person who knows that she's going all the way. You got to start showing up from where you're meant to be and then apply the rest of what I said. Avani says, can you expand more around money goals being what it actually represents and not focusing on the money, but more of the belief that it's going to happen? It was what you mentioned in the first part of your life, and it was really good. Yeah, so it's just about what is the money actually for? What is the actual thing you desire? And start to choose and say and speak and write that has occurred. And then it's like, well, if that's occurred, it means that money's showed up, or it's somehow occurred some other way. It might not have even been about the money, or the money might have come from a different place.